Hello and welcome everyone. This is your astrology forecast for full moon in Cancer. This is first full moon in 2026 and I wish you all a happy new year and a happy full moon in Cancer. This full moon is very highly emotionally charged because moon is the ruler of Cancer, and now we have this full moon lunation in the sign of Cancer. So it's deeply related to water, to our emotions, to our emotional body, our need for nurturance and nourishment and stability and security, emotional stability and emotional security. So we will be faced with some emotional insecurities and instabilities, and with our immature part of us. So we have a strong Cancer Capricorn axis activated because each full moon means that the sun and the moon are opposing each other. This is the event of full moon. They are looking at each other. They are having a conversation with each other. They are projecting on each other a lot. So full moon illuminates something. So it shines its fullest and it reflects the light from the sun. So it's very, very powerful time when we can see something that has been hidden in the shadows. This is illumination of suppressed and repressed emotions and feelings. It's time when we are able to face and see something that we've been running away from, something from our childhood, something that is related to our relationship with our mother, something that is related to our relationship with family members, with our roots, with our place of living, with our tradition as well, and with our place of birth. So many of us may be a bit nostalgic, melancholic. We may feel a bit isolated, lonely, maybe have a need to withdraw emotionally, to be on our own, to be at home, to spend more time with family, or we may feel lonely and having a need to spend time with those who feel like a family. All these things will be very, very emotional, and it's a Capricorn season. And Capricorn is opposing Cancer, but they are not really opposites. They are complementary. They are fulfilling each other. So Capricorn fulfills Cancer and Cancer fulfills Capricorn. And we cannot reach the fullness of one until we connect both of these archetypes within us. These are the gates of gods and men. Cancer and Capricorn. Cancer, the gate of men, the gate through which we descend and come into this world. It's the womb. It's the womb of this planet. It's the womb of the mother. It's the womb of the nature. And in Sankhya, the ancient scripture that is written by a magician named Kapila, the red magician, there we have principles, two main principles of this whole existence that are known as Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is unconditioned spirit, and it cannot be tamed, it cannot be framed. It is completely free, imperishable, untouchable, and it resides in everything that we see. And Prakriti is material, is matter. And not only matter, it's everything that we see, it's also energy, because energy is also material, and it's everything that we experience, it's all our senses, and it's all the whole humanity. It doesn't have a gender, even though in those highest principles Purusha is seen like a male and Prakriti like a female, but Prakriti is related to men and women as well, to the trees, to the nature, to everything that we use, to our voices. Everything is Prakriti. And Purusha, that unconditioned spirit, is in everything. And it moves Prakriti. So in order for that Prakriti to exist, Purusha inhales the breath and everything is in motion. So this full moon in Cancer reminds us of those primordial principles of this existence that we carry within ourselves and that we embody and live in this realm. And this is a time, you know, full moons are times of fullness, completions, fruitions, endings, completions, closures, disclosures, revelations, acknowledgements. You know, things come to their fullness, things culminate, things come to a head, or things come to an end, or things come to life. And depending on where we are with ourselves and on our personal path, but something we've been working on emotionally, something we've been working on that is related to our emotional stability, to our family, to our home, to our place of living, to our memories, to our ancestors and roots, is coming to a fruition. And we may be able to say goodbye to something, to release our past, because Cancer rules the 4th house and it's strongly related to past. And it's in opposition with the Sun, Venus and Mars in Capricorn. And Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is also about the past. So we are releasing emotional burdens from the past. We are releasing huge unnecessary luggage that we are still carrying with ourselves, that is not ours, but that we inherited in some way. And this doesn't have to mean that we are just removing it. We are honoring it. We are honoring those burdens, and we may be able to see them not as burdens, but as missions, as our, you know, sacred tasks that we have in order to fulfill something that is really going through those threads, invisible threads of generations in the family. And we are redefining what family means to us. We are redefining the concept of home and family. And it's also something that we will be changing in the future. And each full moon in Cancer, or new moon in Cancer, or when we have a strong activation of Cancer and Capricorn energy, is time when we are redefining what parenthood means, what childhood means, what does it mean to be someone's child or someone's parent, or what it means to be in the role of a mother, even though if we are not in the role of a mother, what it means to be in that role, because we may have that role in somebody's life. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that we are a biological mother in that sense, in that way, you know. And it's not gender related either, you know. Some men can be perceived as a mother in someone's life. They can have that role. Maternal role is very important, and our relationship with our divine mother, with the great mother, with the cosmic mother, a relationship to the goddess, to matriarchy. And it's, you know, time when we can withdraw within ourselves and touch that maternal spirit within us that we all carry. The matriarchy, but the real matriarchy, not the twisted one. Because in this period of time, we are still living the consequences of twisted matriarchy and patriarchy. So these themes will be strong. The gender divisions, the division between roles, what is male role, what is female role in this world. And we may see some really delicate topics being activated, you know, like the position of a mother in this world, and how mother is treated, and what is expected from mother. So what we expect as children of this great cosmic mother, what do we expect from her? And there is a great pressure on this role of mother in this world, because mother should be all giving, all forgiving, always gentle, always there, always full of understanding. But it's very hard, and there is a dark aspect of the mother. There is that shadow part of it that we all have to experience, because we suppress it and we only expect that perfect image of the mother. And I again repeat that this is not strictly related to our biological mother or to our role as a mother, but to all our relationships, because we expect this from everyone in one way or another. And I often mention this that there was this great quote. I think it's anonymous, but I really love it because it says, in order to heal our relationship with everyone and everything and with ourselves, we have to heal our relationship with her. Not necessarily mother, but with her, with that female principle within us, with that right hemisphere of the brain that rules with our left side of the body, that we don't use that much. You know, we are mostly right-handed in this world, and I know many situations and experiences of older generations where they were forced to be right-handed in schools. Like they were left-handed, but in school their teachers forced them to be right-handed because it was considered like a bad omen or something. And like the right path, so it's the right hand and the right path. But we are changing this paradigm, we are changing this prejudice, and it's really growing. This maternal female principle is growing, and it doesn't mean that the male principle will be suppressed, but on the contrary, this has to come in the harmony. And this is what's being unlocked by many other things now that I cannot mention right now, but through many other things that this is activated, and many solar activities that include many other invisible things. It's activated now that these principles come into harmony, because they have both been suppressed for so long. And even though we think that there is a dominance of male principle in the world, there is maybe this dominance, but it's twisted, it's not healthy, it's totally unhealthy dominance. And also the feminism activity is also coming from the patriarchy. So it's not actually doing anything good for women eventually, but it's also the part of this male dominance that is twisting both divine male and divine female principles. But of course it has to be this way, because sometimes things really have to reach that extreme level where everything becomes so transparent that we cannot ignore it, that we have to see that something's wrong. And this feminism is pushing us to believe that female and male are same beings, but they have different functions. You know, they are not the same. Even though we are all one, we are all part of one organism, as I always say. We are not an organization, we are a big organism. And just like this saying that we are all one means that we are all the same is not true. We are all one, but all unique in our expression, all authentic. And this full moon in Cancer is here to bring us back to the roots of that knowledge, to the roots of that wisdom, because fourth house and Cancer is related to those roots, to our core emotional strength. And Cancer and fourth house, it's the bottom, it's the spine, the bottom of the spine of the zodiac. And so our spines may be also triggered now. You know, when we have issues with our spine, it's a very, very strong significator of that something is really important happening on that spiritual level with us, and we have to do something about it. We have to really do the work. So this full moon in Cancer brings us back to our emotional roots, to the core feeling of belonging, of really belonging. Like, we have that feeling, we all felt it, you know, that feeling like when we are feeling totally safe, totally nurtured. For example, when we were little and we were cold and we were sick and we were surrounded, you know, by people we love and given nurtured with food, with warm soup and stuff like that. These kinds of feelings are very strong now, And if we don't have them, we may feel in some way left alone. But this is a time to reparent ourselves and to realize that our parents owe us nothing, because it's really time to stop putting so much pressure on parents and stop blaming them and ancestors and generations. Or, it's really time to take responsibility for ourselves, for our core emotional stability, because nobody owes us this stability. And we were born into certain families with a very specific reason, with very highly specific reason. There is no mistake there. So it's the sooner we understand it and the sooner we accept it, the better it is for us to get out of that, repetitive loop of always complaining and blaming, and or maybe even over justifying them. Either way is a trap. So this is a time to redefine what family means, and to see that, each family has their own brokenness, that it's not there in order to be fixed or corrected, but to work with it, to see ourselves through that brokenness, and to understand that no matter what's happening, that family survives. It's like that cell, the cell that pulsates. And so in that way we have this image of micro family through our own blood family. But this is also a time to see that we are all a family, that this planet that we are on, that this beautiful planet that is really abundant and rich, that we people are abusing in some way, because we don't see it as something alive, but we see it as something that is there to serve us. But actually we should be, in a coherent relationship with nature, because it's part of us and we are part of it as well. And we should see it as our mother, So this is a time to reconnect with those roots, with the family, with the greater family of who we are. And just like, those roots go under the ground, the roots of the trees, all these trees around it have deep roots, and they are all connected underneath in the invisible. In the same way we are connected. In the same way we are each like a tree, very unique, and we are all connected in those invisible roots. And this is a time when we can feel that. We can feel it. We don't have to see it. Cancer and full moon is about feeling it, not about seeing it. There is no rational explanation for it. It's just something that we feel. We don't know how, we don't know why, but we know something because we are feeling it. It's a strong activation of intuitive knowledge. And it's strong activation of our sixth sense as well, because we can awaken our higher emotional center now. And, we may also be faced with our toxic attachments, because cancer can really hold things strongly, like take it into the grip and not letting it go. And, with those claws of cancer. So this is a time full moons ask us to release something, to just, we're holding it so strongly, and when we are holding something so strongly, we are stiff. And this is emotional stiffness. And this emotional stiffness creates the stiffness in our blood. And cancer is also related to our blood. And full moon also related to blood. Because, we are related to our family by blood. Blood is very sacred substance. And in many traditions and teachings, it is known that spirit travels through blood. It resides in blood. And this is activation of our blood cells as well. So it's very important to work on cleansing of our blood and understanding that this sacred fluid within us is not just some material thing, that connects us with our blood family, but it's much more sacred. It connects us with our spiritual ancestors as well. And this is a time when we can really improve the blood circulation. And by improving our blood circulation, we can improve our emotional stability and security. And it's very powerful time for connecting with earth and water, because Capricorn is earth while Cancer is water, and they have strong activation of water and the earth during this time. This is happening on the 3rd of January, but full moons are felt 5 days before and 5 days later, and they set the tone because it's the first full moon of this year, of the 2026. It sets the tone for this year. And it's the core placement of the zodiac, as I said, the bottom of the spine. So it's very, very important to sit with our emotional ups and downs. And, you know, when we feel sad, not to say that I am sad, but sadness is going through me, you know, or whatever it is that we are feeling, not to identify with it, but to say that, to identify, to address the emotion and to see that it's just passing through me. And, you know, I can allow it to pass through me and to transform me, to cleanse my blood cells and to reactivate my cellular memory, because, you know, our bodies remembers everything, and 4th house and Cancer is also related to our memories. And this is a time when we can awaken some really ancient memories, and our dreams may be very important as well. So rituals and ceremonies with earth and water, you know, being somewhere near water, touching the ground, the soil, just smelling, breathing the air that is next to water and earth is also very, very powerful. Or, you know, being more aware while we are taking a shower of the power of water and how it cleanses us and how it removes the dustiness, not only the physical dustiness, but also the mental and emotional dustiness. Or when we are drinking water, just to be aware, you know, to be aware of the power of the water and to be aware of the power of earth. And this axis is very powerful, very, very, it's pushing us towards emotional maturity, but it's pushing us there through emotional immaturity. You know, these are primal needs. Cancer activates our primal needs, our primal fears. And this primal fear that is related to Cancer is abandonment, it's isolation, it's loneliness, it's separation, no emotional connection, you know, it's fear of loss as well, fear of losing everything that makes us feel safe and secure, fear of losing home, of losing parents, of, you know, all these things. And even if we experience this kind of loss, this fear gets reactivated during this time. And, you know, this inner child that wants to be nurtured and babied is very strong now, and it's powerful for us to recognize this inner child that we all carry within ourselves. The complexity of having a need to be seen, to be approved, to be taken care of, to be, you know, to have food, to have the hug, to have that good night hug for sleep, and all these things. So we may feel very highly, deeply, emotionally triggered. Also because this full moon is very close to Jupiter in Cancer. There is just a couple of degrees separation between them. I think the full moon is somewhere around the 13th degree of Cancer, while Jupiter is somewhere around the 21st, 22nd degree of Cancer. So they're pretty close. So Jupiter expands everything it touches. So it can expand our emotional reactions, it can expand our feelings. So these are extreme feelings. We may have exaggerated reactions with our family members or around something that is related to our place of living, our home, our family business. all these things will be deeply, deeply triggered now. And we may have a need for that we have someone to cook for us, to babysit us, or we may have a need to do that for somebody else. And we may feel weak in some way. The emotional weaknesses may arise, and it's powerful to recognize these emotional weaknesses without going into self-pity mode, but acknowledging these things and just standing up for ourselves fully. Like, I am here to take care of myself. I don't need others to nurture me. It's good that we have mutual nourishment with others. That's very powerful, but it comes as a bonus. It only adds to our own not self-sufficiency, but our emotional sovereignty and independence and maturity. We need to feel safe and secure within ourselves, to be my own mommy, my own daddy, not to be in need. Avoiding, we may be avoiding healing ourselves, avoiding self-care through care of others. Take care of everybody else except myself. And these are very, very complex psychological activations as well. And there is an opportunity to really help others, but it's very important to know that we are not saviors. We are not their healers. We are not their parents. So let's stop playing role of mother or father to others around us. And let's stop playing the role of a child of others. We have to take responsibility for ourselves, and this full moon may say, grow up. Hey, kiddo, grow up. You are not kid anymore. And it's time to grow up, to wake up. Emotional awakening. It's time for emotional awakening. And, this is time when we really want to create a comfort zone. But there's a push out of it. And we may feel like we are giving a birth to something. So there's a push. We have to push really hard to give that birth. And Cancer is about birthing and the womb, as I said. So we may feel like we are carrying a baby and we are about to give a birth. So this full moon is like also like the simulation of pregnancy in some way, like cosmic pregnancy, emotional pregnancy. And we are giving birth to something, and it's painful, but it's beautiful at the same time, and it's worthy. And we just have to put more effort into it, like really push a bit harder, and creating a new comfort zone. So we have to own our own needs and give ourselves a credit for how far we've come. Give ourselves some grace. It's a spiritual process as well, and it's waking up our heart. It's cultivating a relationship with miracles. And we may feel like we are being crushed, like our emotional body is being crushed, but it's not something negative. Sometimes we have to crush herbs in order to get that essential oil, right? And the journey of self could feel never-ending, but that's only because we are infinite. So we can take our time. Let's take our time. No rush. Capricorn energy really wants us to master patience. Patience with ourselves, patience with our past, patience with our family, patience with those around us who surround us. But we may see how we are somehow always getting trapped into that need to be better than everyone else. Like there is a competition on a very subtle level, probably. We may deny this, but there is always some kind of competition because we live in this kind of realm where we compare all the time. We compare things. We compare with our family members. We compare with our siblings. We compare our parents. We compare our family with other families. And this full moon in Cancer is again an opportunity to see beyond these competitions, to see beyond comparing, to see through these things, and to see that we are all cells of one organism, that we are all family in some way, and each family carries some brokenness, but it doesn't matter. We are here to help understand each other, not to put others down, not to feel better because someone is feeling worse. Or, you know, we can do this in many ways, in many subtle ways. It doesn't have to be, you know, obvious or aggressive. It can be very kind and silent and quiet. So we know this within ourselves. So we will be faced with these subtle manipulations, emotional blackmails, with subtle need for being better than others, for doing better, for, you know, having a, maybe even competing in who is having it worse in their family. This is also the same thing. It's the same need to be better in some way. It doesn't have to be literally better, but, you know, being worse, having a worse situation. Like, you know, when someone comes and complains to us about what he or she is going through, and then we hear the other side saying, oh, wait until you hear my story. Wait until you hear what I've been through. You know, so it's absurd from the perspective of Purusha, from the perspective of this unconditioned spirit. It's absurd. It's totally funny. It's hilarious to compare and compete. It doesn't have any value. It has no meaning. It's totally absurd. It's living in absurdity. And majority of us is living in absurdity. Of course, including myself, from time to time, we all get trapped into those traps. But now it's time to really see it. We can see it, not with these eyes, but we can see with our inner eye. We can feel things. You know, eyes are just organs that, you know, are giving the function to the sight. But sight is something different. Sight is not the same like eyes. So we are awakening our inner sight. And we are able to see directly into the hearts of others. And not to be so quick to judge other people's behaviors, other people's emotional reactions, because we may see how quickly we judge, how we run to judge. You know, we like rush, like we've been waiting so impatiently for someone to make some mistake, and then we can point the finger and say, look, you did it. Look how you behave. Or, wow, look how obvious it is that this person behaves like this. Or we put the whole pressure onto one family member. If one family member is making a trouble, if one family member is pulling others down, we put the whole pressure onto that family member. But we fail to see that we as a family carry everything, and that by suppressing, like each member of the family suppressing their own inner child and desires and fears and traumas, by suppressing it, then that one family member takes it all onto himself unconsciously, or herself. And so we find it, you know, like, oh, this person is to blame. But no, if each family member takes responsibility for their own behavior, then this one person would also change in some miraculous way. But it's not a miraculous, it's because these are subtle energies that we don't see. And there's a lot of complex psychology behind this as well. So we are now creating this safe space for ourselves and others around us to feel safe, to feel like they can express their emotions. And, you know, we are creating our own private oasis. You know, Cancer is very private space, and Capricorn is public space. So we may feel torn apart between our privacy and our public image, between our need to be with our family, you know, between our need to be with ourselves, to withdraw, to cultivate emotional stability, and our need to be out there in the world, to do our task, to contribute to society. You know, this is the opposition between Cancer and Capricorn. This is the opposition between our inner world and our outer world, between our emotional stability and our material stability, between our male and female principles. And it's not about choosing sides, it's about creating that balance, really, and seeing that, you know, this competition and the need to be better than others, the need to show as a good person or as a successful person is totally absurd. And we are just putting this guard down and allowing ourselves to feel. And whenever we have this full moon in Cancer, it's very powerful time to not so much to explore and read, like, searching for where the full moon is, what degree, law, nothing of these technical details, but it's really about feeling the moon. Go out and feel the moon. Go out in the night of the full moon, take a walk by yourself or with someone you trust or with a family member you love, and be silent or have an emotional talk, but feel it in your body, feel the soil, feel the ground you're walking on, feel the water in your body, and honor the water on this planet Earth that we have. So this is also a big activation of waters on planet Earth and the wells. So it's powerful to go and visit some wells during this time and touch the water, touch the surface of the water, just observe the surface of the water and just feel it. Just feel it. This texture, the texture of water is very calming. The color of the water, the sound of the water, very, very calming for us. It's because it's who we are. It's also part of us. This is why it's so calming. It's so calming to be in nature because it's who we are as well. It's also very powerful to watch the sky, to look upwards and to look down as well, and to feel that how everything is interconnected. Everything is it's the fabric of our being. The content that we see around us, everything that this planet is made of is also within us. All four elements: air, fire, water, and earth, and ether, the fifth element that connects them all, the fifth element. And this is a time when we can deepen our knowledge of spirit, and reconnect with the wisdom of earth and water. And I often mention this, and I will mention it again, that earth and water, just like any other elements, when they combine together, they can create something ugly or something beautiful. They can create something constructive, or they can destroy something. Like earth and water, we can have a mud. Or earth and water, we can create something beautiful, like plants growing, vegetables, fruits. We need water and we need soil. Also for preparing food, for nurturing ourselves, for creating something, for having a garden, for beautiful garden, we need both earth and water, right? So giving new life to something, giving new birth to something by releasing something as well. And we have to be willing to feel the fear and to identify why it is there. And this is a very liberating experience. And when we deeply feel and love our fear, it transmutes. And, we have learned to compensate so much. And this is a time when we may overcompensate for for illusionary emotional stability. And we will see it clearly. This full moon won't allow us to do it. We may go into that direction, but it will cut us. It will, it will do something. Something will happen that will stop us going to that direction. And we may feel like we are losing something, but it's for our best, for our own good. And this Jupiter here next to this full moon will really give us that clear, wise shot, like very clear vision of what we are doing to ourselves, how and where we are overcompensating. And we may see how our attention is turned outward to please others, instead of focusing on our own presence, our personal development of a confident and self-directed, authentic being. This is when we can truly please others, not because we want to be seen as worthy or approved or anything, but because we truly share our authentic selves, and by sharing our authentic selves, we give others the joy of being in our presence. And use of guilt may be very strong now. Use of guilt, let's be very careful about it, and we will see it. And use of guilt can come either through us or through somebody else towards us, like you owe me, I did that for you, you've got to be there for me, don't leave me, don't abandon me. As I said, emotional manipulations and blackmails, or a feeling of being ashamed, and all these things will be strongly activated now. And we may see how dependent we are upon other people, or if we are a burden to others, or who is burden to us in this current situation. We will see what we have allowed and how we have allowed this burden to become a burden. And this is not done intentionally. That's below level of consciousness, and it turns out, where we are either smothering somebody by our needs, our longings, our demands, our emotional hooks that we hang on to them. This is this could be a situation where someone won't leave somebody else to live. Like a mother won't leave a child to leave home. Emotionally dominate people in our relationships will be triggered now, and it's time to do it ourselves, to stop searching for external mother or father in our friendships, in our relationships, to stop comparing and competing, to really just feel our body, which is earth, to feel our emotions, which is our water. And life is pushing us to do it ourselves, to find our way home, to see what it means to be at home, to see what it means to truly belong. Let's ask ourselves, I ask all of us now, what does it mean to truly belong? What family means to us? Not by definition. We don't have to find any answers. And I just had today and these days very interesting conversations with my friend Lucas, another very beautiful being from our team. And we just spoke about these things. So it's really powerful to know that we don't have to find any definitions or strict final answers to something, but to allow ourselves to get to know ourselves, to always expand. This Jupiter here is expanding our perspectives. It's expanding our way of understanding home and family and belonging. And I will just use one short quote from Bhagavad Gita that says, "Be even-tempered in success and failure, for it is this evenness of temper which is meant by yoga." And this is something that I would use as a finishing line for this forecast. And I wish you all a very beautiful, emotionally expansive, healing energy, full moon in Cancer, first full moon of 2026. Love you all and see you in 2 weeks. Bye bye.